But you know what? Actually, I went down to the store on your way over here to get this iced coffee. And on the way in the check line, you know how they have like Us Weekly and like People and, you know, all the, I don't know, tablet, whatever they call those.
Yeah.
And they had this thing. I should show you on my phone the picture of it. And it's Jessica Simpson. I didn't even know they were still talking about her.
Is she still around?
Apparently she's still around. Yeah.
I heard, I mean, of course she's around. You can't notice her. I've heard she's as big as a house. She only wears black to be skinny, right?
Oh, shit. But see, that's the kind of shit. See, look, right here.
I've seen her on TV a couple times, like on some shows.
So what does it say?
Caught with a nanny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, that's the kind of shit where I'm like, if you buy that, like, you're contributing to that ugliness.
Yeah. You
whatever that is. You get you feel me on that?
Yeah, you know what? Okay, yeah, it is shitty, but I'm looking at this picture and I'm highly addicted because I want to know what she's doing in that picture in the golf cart because it looks like she's giving him a hand job.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
That?
Yeah,
it looks like she's giving him a hand job. And that's the thing that makes me get caught on it. Because like, if I see, all right, she's on the scandal. We've all done it. I've been with a nanny a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, not really, but I've been with some people that were in the, you know, the help district. But
the help? You've been with the help?
Yeah. Come on. You know, I've taken a couple of things in my life that made everyone look like Tom Cruise, and I'm like, you're beautiful, and then I wake up, and you're just like,
yeah,
oh, fuck, I should have charged. That's clearly when I'm for prostitution, is when I wake up with Coyote going, I should have charged that person.
Hey, can you just kind of talk a little closer to the mic, but you know what I'll do?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I can, let me adjust it for you.
I feel like a confession. Like, here's the screen. Father, I have done some bad, and I have done tons of good.
Some bad?
My bad strictly starts off with Marcus Aurelius.
That's perfect.
I met him. Oh, Lord Jesus. I think I met him long before Napoleon Bonaparte sold Louisiana to the cruisers, the Toms, Jefferson, the Tom. See how old I am? I don't even know names anymore. Thomas Jefferson. That's right. The Louisiana Purchase.
Adyr, you sound like a fucking rock star, man.
Awesome.
Sound good.
Awesome.
All right. So, one thing that I love about you, man, this could be the only thing I love about you.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Why?
Your accents.
My accents.
How the hell did you nail down all these accents? Because I've heard you do Russian like a straight up, like perfect.
Well, you know, okay, so I have this knack for languages, and one thing that I did learn when I was learning Mandarin was my teacher said, for the next month, you're just going to listen to everything, because everything sounds different in Asian, which is kind of weird, but it is kind of true. Like, a cat meows different compared to an American cat. They do. It's weird. It's weird.
Wow.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
But in my head. But from that, I just started listening and picking up on things. Like, I would listen to Russians talk and listen to the Brits talk, because, of course, you know, there's Brits everywhere now. So you hear them. And I would just play around. And you know what, though? I lied. I just remembered, too, when I was a kid, because English is not my first language, I've always wanted to sound perfect in English.
I never knew that English wasn't your first language.
No, it's not my first language.
Because when I hear you talk, you sound like very neutral to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's, you know, learning the Queen's English.
Yeah.
You know, well, being primped, I guess, overseas for many years, and having to work with the Brits.
You know what I'm going to do?
They teach you and they fix you on certain things.
So you can... yeah, that makes a little more sense. There we go. Get a little comfy there.
Here we go, because I'm talking to a light.
You're talking to the wall. So
you're so bright today, John. You're so... It's like I'm looking at the Holy Ghost.
Oh, man.
Mary, Jesus, and Jehoshaphat. I mean, Joseph.
So obviously, all right.
Your dog just threw up on my right thigh.
Ah, shit.
That's
All right.
okay. We'll keep going.
Oh, did he really? All right, he's out.
He's eating it.
Hey, pal, you fucked up.
Did you like that? Did you like that?
I mean, it's always nice when I always see people show me what they've eaten by just throwing it up.
He fucking throws up. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. I think he had some liquids, too, with that. All right, so... Yeah, English is not my first language. It's my second language. So I think
what is your first language?
Spanish.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because pronounce your last name, because I can never get it right.
Well, if you want the Latino name when I go to Latin America, I have to go, hello, my name is Adyr Villavicencio Ferreira de Tomás Villavicencio. But in the United States, because people are always like, I always get a silent look. Or like the suburban mom, oh my God, you know, when they're talking to you, then they just say, oh my God, quietly, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just say Villa or Villavicencio.
Villavicencio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Villavicencio is what I use in the United States.
That's cool. I like that name. So you lived in Hong Kong.
Yeah. I live in Hong Kong.
Like, who the hell moves to Hong Kong?
People
Seriously.
who are in a terrible relationship and just want to escape. That was the only reason why I left. And I just felt like I needed to learn something new in life. And life was boring me here in the United States. So I was a little ghetto boy here. And then I moved to China, where first thing I learned to do was pick up the Hong Kong English.
Hong Kong English.
And then it moved to China, which was Chinglish, which was the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I was never upset when I lived in China. I could have the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Walk by a children's store. Clearly, it's supposed to say kids wear, but they misplaced the wording and it says kids swears.
Kids swears. Really? It's like that?
It's instead of kids wear. Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of funny.
So I'd sit there and laugh. I'd forget about what I was worried about or angry about, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is my favorite," you know.
Yeah.
But those funny things, like there was a clothing store called the Freebase right in front of my apartment.
The Freebase.
When I was in China. So I come downstairs. They go, "Hello, please come Freebase with me." I'm like, that's okay.
So how long were you out there?
Give or take 8 years.
8?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, long enough to get my green card out there.
So with a green card, that means you can go back whenever? Or is that you're
technically, yes. I still have to come in with my U.S. passport, but once I'm there, I have my Hong Kong ID and I live like a local and I live like a normal person. And I don't need, because of my ID, I can just easily go through the easy thumb from China to Hong Kong rather than going through the immigration. Pretty gypsy, man. I'm a pretty gypsy.
I'm a gypsy too, man. You know me, I lived in Miami, New York City, San Diego, LA, and Spain.
Spain? I love how you just added that as a normal. It's just like, oh, I lived in Miami, New York, Afghanistan, and Los Angeles, and San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco might be next. I don't know. I went up there to see my buddy. Actually, I talked about this with Nikki, who you'll meet next time. I'm sure we'll do this again, and you'll meet my co-host, Nikki. And we were talking about my upcoming trip to San Francisco, and I wanted to see it through the eyes of a New Yorker. I wanted to see, having lived in New York, I wanted to see San Francisco again after that experience. And honestly, like, now that I've seen it with where I'm at now, it's a fucking great city.
San Francisco?
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Hong Kong. Well, everyone who's Canton from Hong Kong moves to San Francisco or Vancouver, what they call now Vancouver. But
Vancouver?
Yeah, because everyone from Hong Kong moves there now. Or San Fran. But yeah, I go there all the time and I fit right in. Where is the nearest dim sum place?
Praise.
This is down the street. I'm home.
I love it. Yeah, it's just, it's beautiful. The architecture is amazing. Just the layout of the city, it's a city. It's a real city. Even though it's the smaller of like the 3 major cities in Cali, like you wouldn't think it if you went there, like without knowing. If no one told you population, you'd be like, this is the biggest city in California.
Okay, wait, what are the 3 major cities in California then?
San Francisco, Well, I'll go in order. LA, number 1. Number 2, San Diego. Number 3, San Francisco.
San Diego's a big city. I never thought
it's the second largest city in California.
Really?
Yeah. See, no one knows that.
Second largest city.
Second.
Maybe because it's right next to Tijuana.
Well, you mean why it's so populated?
Yeah, I mean...
It's big geographically. People don't realize it. It's like LA, but not quite as sprawl. But it's very large. It's a large city. Yeah. But that's the thing. That's kind of my pet peeve, I guess you could say. I mean, love it or hate it, there's always positives to the whole thing. But Southern California cities are designed around the automobile. So they don't have that, like, that walkable, you know, everything's condensed, you know, and just excitement. That's what I loved about New York is you walk anywhere, pick any neighborhood, walk around, and there's just excitement everywhere. Yeah. You know, just walking. But in LA, it's like you're just driving in your car. You don't know what the fuck you're driving past. Just everything's just a blur. You know, I had the same. I had such culture shock when I moved back to the United States, especially to LA. Yeah.
When coming from, you know, major cities such as Hong Kong or Shanghai or Guangzhou, Beijing, all those major megatropolises that are discovered with people everywhere. Mm-hmm. I came here and it's nobody walks. I remember I had a friend of mine.
Nobody walks.
Oh my God, there's a lot of people out today. And I would see 10 people walking.
Yeah.
Like, that is not.
You've heard that. You know that song. Is it Missing Persons? Missing People? Whatever the fuck that band is from back in the 80s. Uh-huh. Nobody walks in LA.
Mm-hmm. Walking in LA.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Missing so persons. True. Yeah. All right, so let me stop it here to make sure our levels are good.
Okay.
One stain, and then it stopped, and the stain wouldn't come off, and I noticed that it was just a shadow. They was cleaning a shadow. And I was so freaked out. I was gonna get so freaked out. I was like, what's gonna happen? Tommy, and I tried to call my cousin Tommy, and then Tommy was too busy playing his Nintendo on 3D or something, and I'm scrubbing this fucking stain. Sorry, can I say that word?
You can say whatever you want.
I was scrubbing this stain, and I was hoping that Mother didn't come home and see it. So then I did everything I could, and then I realized that it moved on my hand, and that's when I found out it was the shadow.
Oh, you kill me, bro. Right, now we're good. Damn, I wish I recorded on your mic. That was so funny. Anyway, I know you got tons of those. You're such a good impressionist. Is that how they call that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressionator, determinator. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something.
Impressionist.
Impressionist?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, in my English, some words don't exist in my vocabulary.
Give me some Hong Kong shit.
Like what kind of Hong Kong stuff?
Slang. American Hong Kong slang. Do they have such a thing?
No.
No?
No, I mean, they had some slang where they would use, like, their Canton to curse and stuff like that. But, like, a lot of times they just, you know, sometimes talk like this and just,
You mean when they speak English?
Yeah, when they speak English.
Okay.
No Hong Kong people speak like this most of the time, but you have, some people, they have a rather mix of accent with the Hong Kong.
Sounds English.
Yeah, it was a British colony. So sometimes they add the harsh accent of English and Chinese together, and it sounds like this.
Wow, that's cool. That's really good. I can't. That's the hardest thing I think is because I love accents, right? And I love when people can do accents, but when you can combine two accents into one, like gay cowboy.
How would a gay cowboy talk?
Right, right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you can have the stereotypical.
Well, that just sounds like a gay texting guy. Like,
oh yeah, you got to do the gay. Do the gay first.
So, oh my God, guys, can I just? This is my first time here at Pop, and I'm from like Texas, so we're like totally very big into that Lisa Vanderpump show.
That's good. So you just did it.
So I just want to come here and get me like a pumptini because I heard that it's just the rat. Now I'm starting to sound like a gay black dude. Look, I'm just mixing it all up, girl. You don't even know.
You are. You are. You are, man.
Trying to come up to me, trying to be all like a poverty person. This blackness, it may be as dark as a silhouette, honey, but it blings with tons of 1 carats.
So, all right. So clearly, All right, tell me more about your acting stuff, because I know that's, you're obviously an actor. You're an actor.
Yeah, I'm a thespian.
You're a thespian. I like that.
On the island of Thesbos.
So what's going on with acting? What's your deal?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I just moved back to the United States about 3 years ago, so I basically came here to pursue an acting career. Well, I did and I didn't. I was living in Hong Kong. I was doing quite well working in television out there, and then I was running a good, I was running a nightclub scene out there for a long time too, so I was doing quite well. You fall in love, you get married, not married, but you get to that point when you want to get married, and you're like, I want to move back to the United States.
Yeah.
And this is like, all right. And then I went back with my whiny ex, and I guess I decided to start acting.
What was he Hong Kong?
No, he was American. We actually met in Singapore. Not Singapore. We lived in Singapore. We met in Shanghai. He's a total white guy from Chicago. Well, Minnesota, actually.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. But they moved to Chicago, and he studied Mandarin, and then he was a Mandarin an English teacher in Shanghai. And then I was just acting and modeling up in Shanghai, and then I started studying Mandarin because they told me, you do really amazing in China. We make you popular with China if you learn Chinese. So I decided to learn Chinese.
Fuck. And so you actually know Chinese? Like fluent or?
You know what? I used to be quite fluent, but then when I moved back to the States, I didn't ever use it that much. And plus, with my ex, I use it a lot with him, and now we're not together, so I use it as much as I can now. So
yeah,
some words I do forget. Like sometimes not to say.
Nobody. Well, first of all, because I know there's like different languages in China, right? There's Mandarin?
Yeah, it's Mandarin is the normal one, and then there's different dialects from Mandarin. There's like Beijingese. Which sounds like a parrot getting strangled.
Beijingese.
Like there's like Beijingese would be like 你去哪儿? Or like they sound like pirates.
Like Asian pirates.
Pirates like 你去哪儿? 我要是你茶. Like it's like, hey, I want your tea or something. But like, I learned more neutral, which was just like 你好，我要是哪个?
Yeah, that sounds like the lady down the street. I go down the street to Herb's Burgers. You ever been there?
No.
And it's probably one of the best burgers I had in LA. Anyway, it's all run by Chinese people.
Herb's Burgers, what is it, vegetarian? It sounds herbs.
No, Herb.
Oh, herb.
Like Irving.
See, that tells you, this is how my mind works. When I speak a different language, I think in that mindset. Okay. So when I hear herbs, I'm like thinking in the Chinese in my head.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
herb.
So when you say herbs, I'm thinking of like, and run by the Chinese, I'm thinking of a burger joint with jars of ginseng in the back counter and tea.
I just discovered this place, and I don't know. I walk by it. I'm like, this looks like a cool little mom and pop. Let's give it a shot. I go in there, and probably the best, next to In-N-Out, best fucking burger I've had in a while.
Really?
And it's the craziest thing. It's run by like this cute little Chinese lady, so sweet, so nice. And I notice every customer that comes in there, like, is giving her hugs. Like, it's like a very local family type deal. But I remember how she spoke. That reminds me of how you're speaking.
She has the thick, what, was it like the Canton accent or is it the Mandarin accent?
She has the neutraler one that you were doing.
When she speaks Mandarin.
Yeah, and I'm going to go in there next time and I'll be like, my friend says that you speak Mandarin, and I want to see what she says.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can nail it.
Yeah, like you're going to come up to her and be like, you speak Mandarin, don't you?
Yeah,
exactly. You do. I know who you are. I know what you do.
Exactly.
You're gonna scare her. She's gonna be like, "Shasuola." If she speaks Mandarin, that means you scared me to death.
Yeah. Oh shit.
No.
Say it again.
Shasuola. Yeah, shasuola.
Sarsaparilla.
So there you go, sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla.
So you and I love anime, right?
You do love anime? Oh,
I love anime.
That's right. You told me we were talking about that a while ago.
That's why I commented on your shirt, because you're wearing a Sailor Moon shirt, and you just said that they're gonna reboot that. Now, to me, I think
it's already been rebooted.
All right. That's not my style, though. To me, that seems a little too teenage, girly, girl power, whatever the fuck. Remember, what is that? that genre.
Yeah.
I like the heady shit, like Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah.
you know, or the spiritual shit,
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke, you know.
Oh, you see like Hayao Miyazaki stuff.
Right. Yeah, he's a genius, man.
Oh man, he's brilliant.
Oh my God.
Disney bought him out. Like that tells you something.
Oh wow, yeah. Every one of his films, man. Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. Shit, what was that other one he did? The flying one with the planes.
Howl's Moving Castle,
That
or
one
was
too.
it Castle in the Sky? La
No.
Puta.
Oh, he did those both?
He did Castle in the Sky, which is La Puta. He also did Howl's Moving Castle, and then there was that new one that he just did recently, right? You talking about the one that designs planes?
Yeah, that one I want to see because
I haven't
I
seen
saw
it
the
yet.
trailer and I was like, dude, this is like on some other level shit. Yeah, this isn't even anime. Like, this is a whole nother genre that he's doing.
I mean, he gets into this thing where Miyazaki, I love his work. It's you can connect with a lot of these characters that he makes. Like each one has their own background story, and there's something in them that makes them so humanistic. Like these people are real people, so you feel for them. You feel empathetic with them. And
Yeah.
one of the characters, at least one of the characters from each movie or each film, you know.
Yeah.
And it hits you, and you can connect so well with it that you just go, wow, it does something, rather than the regular Kaboom cartoon where it's just like, oh, dynamite, blows up on their face and then they're bamboozled.
Right.
Remember those ones, the Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
It blows up, they're all bamboozled, and they go, yes, I said, yes.
Man, I grew up
so
on the
racist back then.
I grew up on the Looney Tunes, man. Bugs Bunny and Wile E. Coyote and all those guys. Yeah.
That's what I grew up with when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I found out I was gay when I fell in love with Gemma and the Holograms, and I wanted to be her.
That's how you knew. That aided.
Something's wrong with me. Why do I want to be best friends with Rio Pacheco? Like, real best friends.
Oh, man. I remember that gem. The original gem, man. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah. They were much more serious back then. Now it's like, okay, well, now I'm liking the new stuff.
You mean American?
Yeah, American stuff. Like
I don't even know what's out these days, man.
There's some good, like, Teen Titans.
Oh,
The waffle song, waffle, waffle, waffles. They make waffles and they sing this song about waffles, and it's hilarious.
okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's good.
So just a comment. I mean, man, like, you're super fit. Maybe for you, I remember you mentioned to me, you're like, oh, I'm so fat. Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, dude,
you're
what? Like 3% body fat.
No, I think I put on so much. I stopped smoking. So, when you stop smoking, I'm hungry. I just want to eat everything. I'm like,
that is true. That actually happens, doesn't it? Your appetite goes, why the fuck does why does it affect your appetite? Is it like you're compensating for like you're looking for more dopamine or whatever, like through food? Like what is it that makes you want to eat more? Or does it that smoking suppresses your appetite?
Smoking is a hunger suppressor. What do you
Is
think
it really?
models smoke? All we do is smoke all the models I lived with back when I was living in model apartments. You want dinner? I was like, yeah, what's for dinner? Folgers Nescafe and 2 boxes of Marlboro cigarettes.
That's dinner. That's great.
Yeah, that was dinner.
Yeah. No, but like what, cause you know me, I'm paleo. I'm all about like, being very aware of what you put in your body and listening to your body, and watching also, you see how certain foods make you react. You eat X, Y, Z, next day you're bloated as fuck. You're like, all right, so maybe I shouldn't eat X, Y, Z. Let me try eating something else. That's how I've kind of nailed it. And through theory, I've come up with that. To me, paleo seems the most logical. Eat what
So what is this paleo? I don't even know.
You don't even know what it is?
No.
Oh, wow.
I think of dinosaurs when I hear paleo.
Okay, well, it's based on kind of like cavemen, all right? So we've been human beings since we evolved from apes or whatever the fuck we came from for like hundreds of thousands of years. Okay?
Sorry, I have to cut you off. I'm just picturing you. Like, hey, do you want dinner? It's like, hold on, you go to your patio making the whole fire and doing the old-fashioned paleo way.
Oh, shit. Yo, I eat primal, man. I'm all about that meat and sweet potatoes and all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so the idea is that you eat foods that we are most adapted to.
Yeah.
Because we've been human beings eating certain foods for hundreds of thousands of years as human beings. And this is the thing that fucking blows me away when you actually start reading about this shit. Most of what we eat in this day and age is new foods. So foods that we haven't had in the last 20 years, in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
And some foods are kind of older, like maybe bread, which is like 10,000 years old, or beer or wine, which is like 10,000 years old. But when you're talking in the scheme of hundreds of thousands of years, 10,000 years is a blip, you know?
Yeah.
And there are certain things that we may be more adapted to than not. And that's what it comes down to, is what is it that you, not just us as human beings, but you specifically, what tribe did a deer come from? You know, where were your peoples roaming around?
I came from the land of unicorns, man. My mind's Lisa Frank, so my tribe
so
is
then there
bright
you
and
go.
colorful
Whatever
and happy.
unicorns ate is what you're probably most adapted to. And the thing is like we eat too much foods that are just new, and our bodies are like, I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
But what is new?
You know?
Like what?
What is new? Vegetable oil. Is new. Why? Because we didn't have technology, the means, or even the desire to extract oil from vegetables.
Oh, so that's so olive oil is the old one.
I would say, well, technically olive oil is not, it's technically a fruit from what I understand, but that's just, fucking nitty gritty shit. But the point is that, yes, we've had olive oil the longest out of the oils. That's true. But olive oil isn't destructive like, say, corn oil is, because number one, oils are just dripping fat. If you go and see an olive tree, it's literally dripping fat off of the olives.
It is?
Yeah, they're very fatty. Yeah, or a jar of olives.
See, I never knew any of that stuff. Like, I'm totally okay. All right. So, and are they dripping fat at the job we work at?
Those trees do not produce olives because they're too old.
Oh.
They stop, because if they did, you know how fucking disgusting that's
a lie. I found one making olive.
One olive.
I found an olive hanging on one of them. She's trying to make a comeback. She's like, I ain't done, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm on,
Yeah, we have these 100-year-old, how old are those trees?
About 100 years old.
Century-old olive trees, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
trees.
Without getting too complex, the whole point is that vegetable oils are not good because, first of all, your body knows what to do with vegetable oil when it's in the matrix of the original vegetable. So, carrots, you're going to eat a carrot. There's very small amount of fat, like extremely small amount of fat. It's in this protective matrix of fiber and beta carotene and all that, whatever makes it a carrot. And when you eat that, your body's like, I know what this is. I've been eating this for 200,000 years. I know what this is.
Yeah.
But when you start extracting that shit, which, by the way, they get vegetable oils through a process of how you refine oil, like crude oil, to make gasoline. So they use solvents and chemicals to extract.
Really?
Yeah. And that's how unnatural it is, because that's the only way. I mean, think about corn. Corn oil is very, very common. And people cook with it, okay?
Canola, right?
Canola is very common.
Well, okay, so what's canola? The only canola I know is she makes great wigs and she owns a salon down south of Compton, Southwest. You know canola? Hey, girl, my name's Canola. I'm going to wash your hair in hot water in my salon, and it's free hot water, girl.
Oh, shit. Free hot water. All right, so...
Free hot water. 100% synthetic hair, girl. It's real synthetic. We going to do this for you, girl. We going to get you a man. Mm-hmm. We're going to make them DSLs work tonight, girl.
Shit. Yeah, man. So, canola and corn and Crisco and all this shit that's just like, and when your body eats that shit, you put it in your body, you're like, it's what the fuck? I don't know what to do with it. And that's why people are getting all these problems. And man, the more you read about it and the more you learn about it, you see how deep that rabbit hole goes. Like,
okay, wait. I'm going to cut you off and go backwards. I totally forgot. What's canola again?
It comes from it's not the canola plant, but it comes from some kind of fucking seed. I don't know. Yeah, it's a seed or something that again, if we ate it in the past, it was very small quantities.
Yeah.
And I guess you can kind of look at it as ratios. Like we've thrown, whereas you would eat vegetable oil naturally, again, in the protective matrix of the vegetable, but we have freebased it. We've turned it into a drug, essentially. Yeah. It's like the difference between eating a cocoa leaf down in the Amazon just to keep, the high altitude and to keep you going. And
then taking Coke.
versus taking Coke. And that's what we've done with our food.
I loved both.
I bet you did.
I loved both.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, you went through a time, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I went through I have a story.
I want to hear it.
I have a story.
What did you get into?
I got into any form of drug I got into lots of drugs. You know, this is like turning into a serious conversation. Like, here's my story.
Lay down. It's cool. You know, get it all out. You know.
No, my main weakness was cocaine.
Cocaine. Yeah.
I was in love with cocaine. Cocaine, like Rick James said, is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Makes you do the craziest things. I remember. Oh my gosh, I remember like having like wild, nasty orgies and going crazy, and in the middle of it all, just in the middle of like the whole sexual experience, getting beat up, tossed, and licked and bit all over when I should be moaning and feeling this amazing journey of sex. Just looking at the ceiling and going, "Oh fuck, I love this song. It's a great DJ spinning right now." Yeah.
What?
It's just your head is off somewhere, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You feel like Superman. You feel like you rule the world.
That's crazy,
You know?
man. Yeah.
But now I live off that song by Charlene. Never Been to Me.
I don't know it.
You never heard that song?
Sing it.
It goes like, I went through paradise, but I never been to me.
Huh.
You never seen that?
Nah. I'll pull it up and post.
All right.
I'll play it. Yeah.
No, but I can tell you so many funny stories because I do speak at I do a lot of speaking over at halfway homes or rehabs, rehabilitation
Oh no
centers.
shit. So you actually go in and tell your story.
Oh, I
and...
tell my journey, my story.
Wow,
like, there's
bro.
a whole thing we do when it's like what it was like, what happened, and like what brought me to my knees, and and what it's like now since I've been sober. But I felt so. Okay, I gave my story, but I remember I was sitting next to this guy, this skinhead, all tatted up, and he had one of them stashes that go from around all the way to his chin.
Yeah.
Sitting next to me, he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Adyr. Hi." He's like, "Yeah, my name is Nick." I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you, Nick." So I'm around all these junkies and prostitutes. There was a bunch of prostitutes over there.
Yeah.
And we're talking about our life, and he was just like, "I went to prison, and I sucked dick and got fucked just to get some crystal meth. I did it all.
Wow.
I was in jail." And I'm like, "Oh." And then my turn, I was like, "Oh, I remember being in a yacht to Monte Carlo with the Sultan."
So we all have
Of
this.
Malaysia, just getting high on rails of cocaine and champagne dom everywhere. And I was like, I remember I was looking at one prostitute. She was this Russian girl with bling. And I'm like, I bet she knew what I went through because she was one of them Russian hookers that probably went all over the world
Yeah.
with rich men.
Yeah.
Going, champagne, cocaine, we have fun. We just, I find my husband one day. And the rest of them, they missed. Teeth was optional with the rest of the people.
Yeah.
But it was weird to see everyone's connecting with Nick because he's like, yeah, and then I remember watching a guy get shot and die. And I was like, oh, I remember going on a private jet.
The difference.
Yeah,
What
the
is
difference.
that? Hey.
And then people are looking at me going, spoiled shit.
Yeah.
But I got my story. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no. Well, then that makes you. It seems that it's more common that the people that are in rehab are like that guy with the mustache. But your story happens, and then it makes you wonder. Well, why did you ever leave that lifestyle?
Because I was spiritually bankrupt. When you're spiritually bankrupt, it's like the worst thing. That's where everyone can connect with the spiritual bankruptcy rather than the physical bankruptcy.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that idea before.
Yeah, that's where everybody connects. Because like we're these prostitutes that were like, because they have to ask questions after or just give their comments or something, and they were. At the end, they connected with me more than they did with Nick the jailbird because I was like talking about how what normal people don't go on a plane and have a couple drinks or rail of coke with your best friend and then wake up with a guy and a gun on your head. And I'm like, there must have been something I missed in the middle of this situation.
Yeah.
And then go, that was fucking awesome. Because you're high. Normal people don't do that.
Yeah.
Normal people don't sit there and go, oh, I'm horny. You know what? look at this homeless guy. He looks kind of cute. Bring him home. Take a shower, and then let's have sex.
Wow.
Normal people don't do that.
Right.
You know, so they connected with certain situations like that. Like spiritually broken, like I would look at myself and I never felt beautiful. I never felt enough. And I was working the runway shows for years. I can go on my stories of modeling. But I was in a higher status in this modeling industry. And then I still was never enough. I never felt adequate. I was fat. I had body dysmorphia. Loneliness. And it's all there. And then when I was high or whatever, I felt exactly what I wanted to feel. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be full of love. I wanted to have confidence. I wanted to be that guy.
I've never heard it that way.
Yeah.
That you're it's like whatever void that you have. When you get high, you can fill that specific or ignore that specific void.
Wow,
that's crazy.
It's a number. That's what everyone connected with. I mean, Nick had the same story, like you know.
Yeah.
But he got into the physical at bankruptcy, like I was drunk going into prison, and I was just like, you know what? I remember walking into one fashion week out in Europe, walking to a Calvin Klein, putting on some underwears, doing 6 rails of cocaine, saying, "This is the only reason why I'm pretty."
Wow.
This is what's going to make me feel pretty.
That's fucking nuts.
Compared to and that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then if I didn't have those 6 rails, I would be so insecure walking down that catwalk going, they're looking at me because they can see the fat that's behind my back.
Okay, dear. 6 rails, I would have been running down the walkway, the runway.
I've had a seizure walking off a catwalk once from too much drugs.
Holy shit, bro. You've been through it.
I've been through it, but it was fun.
But you seem so fucking great now, man. Like you and I, we're cool. We're homies. We joke. We lay each other's bullshit on each other. Like everything seems cool with you. Like it's like your full recovery. I mean, I don't know how it works if like there's always like that risk and you have to always be careful, like who you're around. But from what I can tell, like you're on the shit. You're on the level, bro.
You know what? I'll tell you this. If I wasn't bartending and working in the nightclub scenes on a sober note, I would probably still be using. Because when I work at this, I'm the type that I have to see it.
See what?
The shit that I did to make me look and say, thank goodness I'm not that person anymore. Like, I'd go to work. I had one guy, is management going to hear this?
we just won't say where we work. How's that?
Okay. I was at a job once, not my current one, but a different one, when some guy gave me like a whole 8-ball as a tip.
Oh, yeah.
Cocaine.
Oh, that happens. And every bartender could, because just so the audience knows, you and I bartend.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously we do other things. You're an actor. Yeah. I'm a musician, producer. I do this podcast. We're in LA, you got hustles. And that's what people do. So yes, as bartenders, it's very common to get tipped 8 balls, to get tipped weed.
Yes.
And especially hustled for shit. The other week, I got asked to supply.
What?
And I thought they were asking me, these cute girls, and I thought they were asking me for sex. They're like, you know what we want? I was like, yeah, I know what you want. And so I gave my number and everything. They're like, we're in hotel, whatever, on Sunset.
They thought you were going to be the mailman.
Room 205.
Oh my God.
And they're like, come when you're finished with work. Come when you're finished bartending here, 2, 3 a.m. We don't care. Just come by. I'm like, hell yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this thing and, make sure I had condoms and all that stuff. They call me up before, like, do you have the 8-ball? Like as if, so you know what I want?
They would have had sex with you if you gave them if you brought up the 8-ball anyways.
Right, but I don't live in that world. I don't do that anymore.
You should just watch them get high and let them just suck you off all night.
Yeah, them get high. So anyway, it's almost like an expected thing. The bartender's got to know. And you know what? I guess some of us do. That's the thing. Some of us do.
Yeah, they always ask me. I had one girl, do you know Karen? I was like, should I know her? Is she that popular?
Yeah.
You know Karen. She sometimes hangs out with Tina Turner. No, I don't know Tina Turner, only the singer, and I don't know no Karen.
Yeah.
Karen, like Coke. Oh, that Karen? No, I don't know her.
Yeah.
Well, they'll tell me stupid stuff. Hey, my favorite. Where can I get some talcum powder to powder my nose? With this vodka, I was just like,
is that what they say?
I had one guy.
Talcum
powder?
Like,
do you know where I can find talcum? I was like, yeah, there's pavilions just catty corner of the bar.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, not that kind. I'm like, what the kind are you looking for, idiot?
Yeah. So, we live in West Hollywood. You live in West Hollywood too, right?
No, I live in Koreatown.
Oh, that's right. I keep
live with
forgetting. Yeah,
Asians.
you're K-Town. Well, but, we do a lot of our business here in WeHo. And again, for those who don't know, WeHo is like one of the gay capitals of the country, right? It's like the Castro in San Francisco. It's like Chelsea in New York City. And then there's West Hollywood in LA, which...
I think I call it the capital of plastics.
What do you mean? Oh, like fakeness?
Well, not even just that. It's like it's very... everyone's very stoic because of all the injections they put on their face.
You mean like men? Like dudes?
I've seen a lot of people, they're all like Botox the Restylane out and they can't even move their face.
That's
it's just like, are you okay? I'm fine. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know, because you're not laughing. Oh, I'm laughing. I just got Restylane on my face. I was like, oh.
Wow.
No, I don't know. That's my opinion because I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Or I call it like last night, my friend, we went out. I got cut off work and then my friend just like, just come stop by and grab me. So I grabbed him. And then at one of the world's famous gay bars, I saw everyone that I've seen on my Facebook or on my Instagram filterless.
Oh shit.
So
yeah.
So it's like, that's what you really look like.
Yeah.
So I call it post-filter. City of post-filters.
There you go. Yeah, it's funny because, being a straight man living in a very gay community, it's taught me a lot of, I'm a really open-minded, very tolerant person. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit what fucking color you are. I don't care if you like dudes, girls, I don't give a shit. But one thing that affects me is culture. And I noticed that in the gay culture, at least in West Hollywood, there's like this fucking party animal, like just doing rails and just going nuts. And one of the dudes we work with was like, there's like this continuous cycle, like the new kids on the block and then the old kids kind of leaving the room,
Yeah.
And because you burn out, you can't sustain that fucking lifestyle. And it's all that like drugs and sex driven. Am I right? Like that's kind of the West Hollywood.
No, I do agree with you. You know what it is? It's a lot of this gay community. It's a very it can be a very lonely community. It can be very lonely. Especially amongst the older gay men because they were in a different time when it was much more of a taboo to be gay.
Right.
Than the younger generation where it's just like, oh, he's wearing high heels and blue jeans. Oh, he looks cute.
Yeah.
It's different. Like if I wore high heels and jeans out in public back when I was a kid, I would have come back black and blue.
Right.
But so within that side, I've noticed, especially with me being all an ex-druggie, I'm still an addict, but I used to go to these whoopee parties. I love saying whoopee parties.
What the fuck is a whoopee?
So I've had this thing where I like going back to old school slang from like the 20s and the 30s. Oh,
yeah. What do you say? Horse feathers.
Yeah, horse feathers. It's like having a kiki nowadays. It was called a whoopee party back then.
Okay.
You're going to have a whoopee party, everyone. Oh, Sammy.
Yeah.
We're having a whoopee party.
Yeah.
But, sorry.
Little spill.
They would basically... It's hard being in this community because everyone's trying to compete with everyone, and we're men, and men like young, pretty things. We're visual creatures.
Yeah, visual, yeah.
So when you get to that point when you're not successful, you're old and you're out of shape in the gay community, or trying to get in shape, or just old in general, you're done.
Wow.
They just go, unless you have six figures behind that age, then you're going to be like.
Well, let me ask some, because I know that's a feminine trait where women like to, that's why you can see the older guy, with the money, with the hot bombshell.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have his youth anymore and his good looks, but he has resources and women are attracted to, on some level. Some women are like, oh, I don't care about, but let's be honest. Like
everyone cares.
Everyone,
come on.
Okay, so me as a man, like I don't care if a woman has resources. I just want the hot bombshell that's fucking, that we can have a conversation and get along and be on the, all that good stuff. But I'm not more attracted to her if she's a lawyer versus if she is a secretary.
Okay.
It's like, to me, that doesn't, as long as you're not a fuck up, but you're on that level spiritually and you're on that level, visually.
But what is level spiritually for you, though? That's the thing. Because, like, for me, I want someone who has their baggage, but at least the baggage is organized.
We all do. All do. Yeah.
I want someone with organized baggage.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
But because some people, they're like, I don't know. I mean, there's people who have the hero factor that just want to date someone who's like so fucked up. So they go, here, let me show you the world. And then once they see the world, they go, peace out. Thanks for saving my life.
Right.
Or you want to be like, no, motherfucker, you have your story. I have my story. We can make a chapter, build a book. But remember, I have my story.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
oh, that was like a bling, like a light bulb.
Yeah, right. See, you didn't know I had sound effects here, did you?
I know. Look at that.
So, like, in the gay community, that does matter, though. So there are men that are attracted to men with power, just like women are attracted to men with power.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah?
You know what's funny?
Because as men, we're very visual, am I right?
We're very visual creatures, yeah.
Right. So you can put aside the visual for the fat old guy that's a millionaire?
Fuck no.
Not you.
Sorry. Okay. I've gotten to that point in my life because, like I said before, I've had times when I've been so blasted in my head when I'd be so high, I would think a tree stump was the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'd rub my dick all over and have sex with it.
You're fucking crazy, bro.
But that's the mentality I had, and then but then I've actually hung out with. I've actually I'll talk about it. I dated a priest for a minute. You know what I mean? He wasn't the best looking. You know, when I first met him, he wasn't that good looking. And then, which did affect me. I was like, yeah, whatever. But then I got to know him on a mental level. And he, oh my gosh, like how Indians would be like mind blasting, you know? I'm like I was mind blasted. I had this mental orgasm and he just knew, like he was so smart and innovative. And we talked. I just fell head over heels.
Wow.
You know, he was a priest. And,
so how does that work? Isn't that like forbidden? It's not a good thing in he was a Catholic priest, right?
Yeah, he was. He's no longer in the archdiocese
so clearly
anymore.
he had to hide that from the
he had to hide
church.
it for a minute. But then like he left now, so he's totally chill.
So now he's yeah. I can imagine that being a huge fucking conflict. Like within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you have this faith and this faith is saying no to that, but then you're like this is who I am, and it's like what the fuck, you know?
I think that's what we all go through. I mean, everyone in general, even straight people, they go through their conflicts, but with me being gay, I grew up in the older gay community. When I grew up, I was the last of the freedom fighters, of what they would say. We were the last of, fighting for our rights. We have pride for this reason. We, all these younger kids running around with the, ponytail up their ass thinking it's the hottest thing in the world. We're the ones that fought for that. So it's different. Like we did have issues in spiritual power, and I was hardcore Christian at the time. I was like, God, what's wrong with me? Why do I just want to go karaoke on this deck?
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah.
And I think with straight people too, but for yours, I think for men, it's different in terms of shame. For straight men, it's more like, don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not be a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, like I've heard something once that someone said that, my friends and family would rather see me die on my white horse than fall off.
Interesting.
Yeah. In the men's side for the straight community, I mean, for us, it's like, okay, we're gay, they're already pussies, so let's look past that and let's just like figure out why you're this way, or I guess I don't know where I'm getting at.
Well, I mean, it's so you know what?
I really don't know.
Socially, it's there's a lot of taboos still left in this fucking day and age, which blows me away. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, dude, it doesn't affect you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're Bible Belt, straight man, like, it doesn't fucking affect you.
What doesn't?
Like the fact that you're gay or you're getting married legally, shit like that. It's just, I don't want to beat a dead horse because people talk about this all the time. But my whole thing is like, dude, it doesn't fucking affect you. Let these people live their fucking life and you can live your fucking life and let it be. You know, it's like you don't want to, I'm not going to impose a belief system on you. You're not going to impose a belief system on me. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. And it's the whole John Lennon thing, getting along and,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I get affected. I mean, well, I don't really get affected. What am I thinking? I mean, no, I don't get affected about anything I do agree with you. I mean, but just some people have nothing better to do. Yeah. And usually the Bible thumpers are the ones that have problems, or the racist people, or people in Laguna.
Well, this is what brings me back to that fucking article. And you know what I'll do is in post, I'll put a picture of that US Weekly or whatever that was that I saw at the store. Because like I bring it back to that because it's like people giving a shit about what other people are doing in their personal life. It's like, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, seriously, who cares? I don't care what Jessica Simpson's doing, giving some dude a hand job or whatever they caught it on. I really don't care. And as people, I feel like that it's one thing to just kind of have a passing interest and like, you know, flip through it because you're just walking by it. But I mean, to be like, oh my God, I know people that are like that. Like they follow that shit to the T. And
because that's what they want.
That's the kind of shit that I think is wrong with our society.
People
are not living their own lives. They're living vicariously through the box. They're living through television and these fucking tabloid magazine trash. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. And
rubbish, darling.
Rubbish. Rupert's
rubbish.
By the way, Rupert is my favorite character.
You know, I was actually at Whole Foods today and I saw the same magazine of her giving some kind of Shanghai handshake to the gentleman in the golf cart. I was in shock. I had to clench my pearls for a little bit if I've had any. But you know what? I do have this necklace given for my ex-Filipino wife. It was made of some kind of a seahorse. So I clenched that. And out of curiosity, because of the little shake hand job that was going down on the shop cart, I did get a little tickled on that pickle of mine, you know?
I love it. Rupert's the best, man.
Rupert.
How did you come up with Rupert? Oh, maybe we should turn the phones off. We're getting blown up right now. Can you turn yours down? By the way, it's 4:20. How are you on time?
Good. I don't have to be at work till about 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. So we're good on time.
I'm trying to get it covered because I don't want to go in.
Yeah. Dear, I'm having a great time, man. This is fun. Just rapping.
I'm having a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and thank you for really like last minute taking the time out and coming through, you know? It's cool, man. Yeah. And I'll let you know when it gets published and all that good stuff. So
fun time.
Yeah, because we don't do live here, you know. I like to keep mine polished, you know.
Polished and nice, yeah.
Polished and nice.
Great.
Yeah. So what else? So I was gonna ask you something. Now I forgot because the phone's about Rupert. That's what it was. Where did you come up with Rupert? Because that's my fucking favorite character.
Yeah, a lot of the characters that I developed in my life were from people that I once knew around the world, or that I remembered, or probably hallucinated. I don't know. I lived with this British guy named Rupert, and he used to make me laugh, but he was a lot younger. I was in the model apartments. He'd be like, Adyr, why don't we go out to the bars in Wan Chai? Now, Wan Chai is a district in Hong Kong that used to be the brothel district back in the days.
Okay.
But, I mean, they still have the old historical signs for them. Mm-hmm. And it's really, really cool. It's all neoned out and nice. And it's perfectly central. And you have the little Filipinas by the door saying, come inside. You have beautiful women. Dance for you, you know?
Wow.
They do that.
Yeah.
But he'd go, yeah, let's go out to the bar and meet some more Filipinas. They want to go out and get a happy massage. So then he kind of talked like that too because he was high society.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like, because there's different kinds of English. And that sounds very high society English to me.
Yeah, and he was hilarious because he was this like good looking blonde, perfect. He was so cookie cutter, like curly blonde, frosted hair, and muscular, long, and basically a wet dream for anybody who wants something cookie cutter, blonde, and British. But yeah, he was just going, yeah, why don't we go now after that and have some macaroni and cheese? That's some great American food, don't you think? And so from listening to the things he would say, he would talk.
Yeah.
And how do you say hello in Chinese? Ni hao. No, it's ni hao. Ni, like a knee, darling. Yes, ni and hao. There you go, darling. Ni hao. So we'd like... So I picked it up with them, and then I just developed this character named Rupert, who's this old man who was high society, and his father once owned a tar factory, a tar farm over in Vietnam, and he's very racist, you know. So that's the character I developed. So whenever
tar factory.
Yeah, like tar factory in Vietnam. You know,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I would never come up with that shit. That's awesome. Yeah.
So he's been around my life. People seem to like him a lot, and they like my Indian guy.
You're in India.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear your Indian guy.
Okay, this Indian guy, his name is Bangladesh Udvaram, which is Bangladesh earthworm in a really thick Hindi accent, because I lived with an Indian family.
Yeah,
and they used to say your name as a joke is Bangladesh Advaram. So I took that and said, oh my gosh, that's a great character's name.
Yeah.
So it's Bangladesh Advaram. And this guy just came to because my friend was dating an Indian guy. And he hated my guts because I could never take him seriously, even when he would yell. He's like, Adyr, you don't ever take me seriously. You always laugh at me when I'm angry. I'm trying to tell your friend.
That's a good one, man.
And I would laugh because, I mean, how would you feel if you had me like, if you hear a conversation, he's like, you know what? When we get home, I want to take your pants off. I want to
Would he do
see
this?
you.
Would he do the head bob?
He would wobble his head, and I would tell my friend, yo, like, what's going on in the bed? Like, how does he moan? Does he go, oh, yes. Oh, I'm loving this.
Even the O's are in the accent. Yeah. You know what's funny is like even like an English person, like you can tell if they just say a single vowel.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like O. So if an English person just said O, you know it's an English person.
Yeah. You know what? I used to hook up
Or
with
if
a
an
couple
Australian
English blokes.
says O or ooh. Or who was that comedian? It was like he was down south and they booed him off the stage. And you could tell just by the boos because they were like, boo, yeah, boo. I can't even do it.
Boo. So you know what? Australian. I don't even know how Australians talk.
Yeah,
like whenever I do it, I do British.
I can only really do British and not Southern, but kind of like I just call it hick. Like I tell you what, boy, about as happy as a puppy dog, two Peter sheep right here.
You.
That's right.
Now you know, like a Southern bloke, yeah.
Not Southern.
Now, well, see, like I when I lived in New Orleans, I used to live with the man, and he was running a store called Rubenstein's up down in Louisiana, right by the French Quarter, and I learned to develop an accent from listening to him.
That's good.
You know,
I could hear the Louisiana in that one. You sound Creole. They call that shit Creole, don't they?
Creole. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Down in New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah, I like that. You know what? I have not been to New Orleans yet.
Oh man, it's a beautiful city.
I do want to go.
It's a beautiful. It's not what it was before Katrina.
Yeah.
But it's still a beautiful place. If you go, I suggest going to the jazz festival in Mardi Gras. Don't even bother going.
Nah, I don't like that shit show. I want to go when it's like not a lot of tour. It's just more like the way it is. You know, I like places
they go
that
for
are
like the crab festivals.
Yeah.
Like, or, oh man, it was really nice when I was there. Every time I would go there, then I would be, man, I did a lot of jobs. I was Jamaican for a minute.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how Jamaicans, the stereotypes of Jamaicans, they have like 10 jobs.
I didn't know that, but okay. 10 job Jamaicans, sure.
Yeah. But when someone says like, oh, I have 3 jobs, oh, you must be Jamaican as a joke. But, I used to be a stylist, a wardrobe stylist, and I would style for the catalogs for the Rubenstein's department store.
Adyr, you've got to write a fucking book because it sounds like that you've had this crazy, awesome ride of a life.
I did. You know what?
Seriously, bro.
If they made a roller coaster at Six Flags of my life that I had, that was all those ups and downs,
yeah,
it would be, people would come in, and then the car would come back empty. Because they couldn't handle it.
The car would be...
They couldn't handle it.
That's a good... I like that analogy. That's it. That's
like, what the fuck did I just get involved into?
Halfway through, let me off.
Oh my God.
Halfway through.
I
don't want to play anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've had some stories when people were like, oh my God. Like, I literally had people who clenched their pearls when I would tell them, oh, I remember when I did this. They go, oh my God.
See, I could see you being around Margie, the Minnesota mom, telling your stories.
That would be a good character.
In her reaction to you.
You know what I would know? That would be a good character just to be like one of those Minnesota moms, like had a drugged lifestyle like I had.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember one time, she would probably sound like that. I remember one time I just put on this slip for the Sultan. He was this beautiful man from Abu Dhabi. And he had quite the belly, that's for sure. And he just kept filling me lots of hummus. But, I remember just putting a bunch of cocaine on his penis. And I would just mold it right so the pickle would be perfect. And I would just put my left nostril, because the right one's got when it's not even inside. You know,
I know what you mean.
Deviated septum. No,
Deviated.
Sorry, deviated. Praise Jesus. You're such a good Christian boy, you know. But, oh yeah, and I would just snort it all up in my nose and then be penetrated in 4 different ways, even in the earlobes.
4 different ways.
4 different ways.
I think that's all the ways that you could. I think that's all the ways you can be penetrated.
Sounds creepy. Did you imagine having one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to church giving my tithe. Oh, yes. And then remembering her past.
Oh, God. That's a good character. You should work on that one.
You know?
So, like, what kind of... I know there's different kinds of actors in the whole world, you know, acting world. I'm not an actor, so I don't really know the whole thing. But through all you crazy actors that I know... there's method acting, there's, what's the other one called?
There's tons of acting. There's method acting, there's improv, there's comedy, there's drama, there's lesbianism.
What's your
character
specific
acting? I would say I'm more of a character actor.
Character. That's where you get all the, okay.
Yeah, I say if I would have, like, once I would be one of those people that's like the co-star, not the lead. But the co-star would get all the attention. Yeah. Like Devil Wears Prada. Did you ever see that movie?
I don't know if I ever saw that one. But I know that's the one with Meryl Streep, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When her assistant, not Caroline, Emily, the British girl, she was the co-star and she got all the attention.
Huh.
You know, everyone laughed at her stuff. They're like...
So she was kind of like your style of...
Yeah. Yeah, or like Mr. Pink. He wasn't that much of a lead, but people know Mr. Pink.
Mr. Pink?
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, Reservoir. That's one of my all-time favorite films.
Yeah, so you know, he wasn't the lead. Yeah. But they go, oh, fuck the lead.
Wasn't that Buscemi, Steve Buscemi's character?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what a great film, man.
Yeah. So that's what I think I would probably want, because those are the character actors. Those are the ones that do all that stuff. You know, maybe I'll have some leading roles, and I get offered leading roles, but I'm always that slapstick guy.
Yeah.
That comes in, the abandoned snob works every time. And people remember
9 times.
Yeah, 9 times. 9 times. You know?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, what are some of the roles that you've captured?
Like, what do you mean?
As of late, what have you put out? What have you done? What have you been
lately, in? Right now, one of the biggest character roles that I played so far, I did this really short film with this really good director, but I had to play Charlie Chaplin. She remastered this whole thing of Charlie Chaplin where I had to play him and redo it. So it was brilliant. Like, I had to literally study Charlie Chaplin. I mean, there's no talking, but I had to do the mannerisms, facial work, and the subtleties that mean a lot. Like, someone would be like, you know, like in a regular movie, if they find someone cute, they're like, oh, yeah, oh, you know, but Charlie would be like, you know, subtle, but you get it.
It's all in the body language.
And that one, I'd say, was probably my favorite. I mean, I've done other ones when I was just like, you know, I was a crazy killer a couple of times. Those were kind of fun, but every actor likes to be the aggro guy because it's a release of frustration that they've had all their life trying to make it and hustle, so I can now let it out on this scene. Yeah. Where I'm just like, fuck it.
So how long have you been in LA pursuing acting?
I've been gratefully doing it for about 4 years here, but it hasn't been that much of a hustle though, because like it's been a hustle, but I've been lucky. Like,
well, clearly you're talented. I mean, even just a little bit we're doing here, just fucking around, like you're fucking hilarious, bro. Like, these characters are amazing.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try my best not to, you know, spotted.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, talent is the prerequisite. You have to have talent, but even then, you're up against so many people. I know it's so competitive out here, you know.
You know, there's 2 types of actors that I noticed. There's those that love the craft, and then those just do it just for fame.
Right.
You know, and granted, I had a fame like scenario once when I was like, I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna be famous, and all you motherfuckers that made fun of me are gonna look at me and say he did it. But I do it because I love the craft now. Right. I had to go through a lot of psychological like therapy and all this rubbish to actually figure out that I love myself and I love the craft, and I'm doing this because it brings out the child in me.
Right.
You know, and those are the types of people. There's people that are like that, and there's people who just do it for fame. I get it. You know, they want the attention, they want the validity.
That to me sounds like these reality TV stars. They seem, in my opinion, they seem to be more in it for fame.
Oh yeah.
Then because there's not too much craft that goes into it. They're kind of just playing up their own selves, right?
Yeah.
And then, they're here one day and out the other. I understand, though, that if you are a serious actor, that being on reality TV is not a good thing.
I heard it from what I've heard, it does hinder your career. But I don't know. I haven't really done any reality shows I'm not at that level of, where I'm requested all the time. I still got to do my hustle, but I love it. But I can see how it hinders it because it's taken away our jobs.
You mean reality TV?
Yeah, because people would rather watch people make fools of themselves because, bad publicity is the best publicity you can get nowadays. Yeah. So they'd rather see that than someone who's actually talented doing a scene like at CSI going, I don't know why he killed himself, son. Well, let me tell you why, or some rubbish like that.
Yeah.
I love I sound like when... Imagine if a detective actually sounded like that. So why did you come over here, son? Well, police. I have a warrant. I will be coming in.
That's good. Yeah, so...
You gotta hold on. I gotta use the bathroom.
Go ahead.
Matchmaker.